Hello, everyone. My name is James Pittman, and I'm the senior editor of the Texas Post in Weatherford, Texas, at www.thetexaspost.me. Welcome to my video cast. I wanted to touch base with y'all on a couple of issues this evening, which are very important we need to discuss. And one is the weather and the aftermath. Number two is politics. I'll go on weather first. Texas was hit with once in a generation snowstorm the likes the state has never seen. The closest it came to seeing something of this magnitude that just happened was actually in 1989. That's when an Alaskan cold front came through and barreled into the southern part of the United States and brought like a ton of snow. This one caused power outages, water outages, pipe breaks, main breaks, slick roads, accidents, pileups, you name it. If this was the perfect storm, it would be it. So how do we recover? That's a good question. First of all, we need to figure out where things failed. Why did our electric grid why wasn't our electric grid able to handle the load that we needed it to? Why did we have a shortage of natural gas? Why did we have communities with water main breaks and boil water notices? These are things that our lawmakers in Austin, they're going to have to answer, or they're going to have to ask rather, and the utility companies answer. And ERCOT, I think, is going to be the first one to have to answer the big question. What went wrong and why? Honestly, it's a good question. It's a very honest question. ERCOT is supposed to make sure that this kind of thing does not happen, where thousands and millions of people are without power. The honest to goodness truth is we need answers. We need accountability. We need responsibility, and then we need to go out and improve whatever we need improving. And honestly, as far as renewable energy goes, well, guess what? It didn't cut it. It didn't cut it at all. We had solar panels that were caked over with snow and ice. We had wind energy turbines that did not even do their job. They were frozen up where they couldn't even spin. And then on top of that, of course, the federal government over the last few years has been saying, yeah, go ahead and get a solar generator, or solar panels, or this wind energy. We'll give you all this money to get this. Well, in the long run, it failed. Let's just call it brass tacks or brass tacks. It literally failed. And that's important to realize. Because for all of the Democrats and rhinos who have said, no, you need to have renewable energy as your primary source of energy, guess what? I'm not going to say that word. It's a little too harsh. But what do we need to do? We need to have coal, natural gas, and nuclear, and oil. Those four things will make sure we have a reliable source of energy from now until they can actually get that technology to actually work. If it ever does. Okay, now for segment 2. These last, let's see. Joe Biden has been in the White House for, I'm going to say, tomorrow it'll be a month. And to be honest, what has he done? The answer? Not much. And here's why. Almost every single day, Biden is signing executive order here, executive order there. This I want to do by fiat, this I want to do by fiat. Basically, he's doing the same thing Obama did. He didn't want to take a chance on the law getting passed by Congress. He figures, hey, if my boss did it, if my former boss did it, why can't I? So let me ask you a question. Do you feel comfortable letting an old man who obviously doesn't have the faculties to be president, do you understand how his decisions and his signatures affect your daily life. You know, he's considering confiscating guns or making it where you have to have a license and pay insurance and pay fee to purchase a gun, a tax, and then on top of that, a tax on ammo. And then you not only have to do that, but the gun legislation that he's proposing, you actually have to register and tell him how many bullets you have in your house. Wow. That's a far cry from Donald Trump, who said if you have a gun, that is your right. Our duty is to respect that right. So here's something else. Joe Biden, I hate to tell you this, but if I had a gun, which I don't, I'll just admit it, I think that if I did, I wouldn't let you know. I wouldn't tell you. Because the Second Amendment gives me my right, if I needed to keep and bear arms. You know, an executive order does not have the power to override the Constitution. It never has, and it never will. So Joe Biden, I wouldn't even chance it. Honestly, there's too many gun-loving Americans that would turn you out on a rail come 2024 in a heartbeat. They wouldn't even think twice. Now for segment 3. You know, the Democrats, they're still fuming over Donald Trump. They lost the impeachment for the second time, and it's really irking them. Now they want to deny him the ability to be buried in the Arlington National Cemetery. But let's get down to business once again, ladies and gentlemen, and tell you exactly what the brass tacks is on this one. The truth is, they hate Donald Trump. They hate conservatives. They hate people who don't think like them. They hate guns, they hate God, and they hate our kids with having an education system that actually prepares them for the real world. They hate our military. They hate our police. They hate those who would strive to do good. And they make everybody their whipping boy, basically, in the story. So what do I think? Well, here's the most important point, Democrats. You know, you think that it's a good idea to keep impeaching. You know, there's a definition of both lies and insanity. Insanity being the most important in this case. Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again the exact same way and expecting a different result. It doesn't wash. Nope, not the first time. So, what's insane about the Democrats? Well, let me tell you. Here's my take. You know, the Democrats, you know, back when Kennedy was president, were strong on America, strong on guns, strong on crime prevention, strong on freedom, and strong on pro-life. They believed that babies had the right to live if a woman got pregnant. Contrast that with today, and you will see a complete 180. A complete 180. Now, Democrats are far left. They don't believe in God. They don't believe in values. They don't believe in guns. They don't believe in babies. Let's just put it that way. They just don't believe in babies. So, what do I think about that? I don't like it. Honestly, truthfully, I don't. There's no reason in the world why any of that crap should have any room to fly. And I've got some news for you, Barack Obama. Try this on for size. You know, back in the early 1900s, there was a lady named Margaret Sanger. I'm assuming you've heard of her because you really espouse the values that she wanted. Or so you think. Well, here's what actually Margaret Sanger stood for. Margaret Sanger was president of the National Birth Control League, and her platform, quote, was to reduce the Negro population and B, enhance the white population through eugenics. Now, wait a second. If it's a woman's right to choose, and that's what abortion is all about, why are we even talking about this? Well, I'll tell you exactly why we're talking about this. Because the unborn, just as me and you, the person listening to this and me, we have a right to be alive. We have once you conceive us, That's it. Your choice is done. You've made your decision. I can say this. If you've made that decision and you get pregnant, then unless it's serious, big time serious, then you should keep the baby and have it born. But think about this. I want you to kind of get a caveat here because this is important. Why not, instead of aborting babies, why not have adoptions? Adoptions cost thousands of dollars, whereas abortions cost, $300? Seriously, isn't the life of a baby worth, say, $10,000? And couples will pay your medical bills, they'll pay your housing, they'll pay for your support. They'll help you get a better life and the baby a better life. Seriously, can you really not see where that might be a viable option? And if nothing else, that baby gets a chance to be loved by by a couple or a single parent who really thinks the world of you for giving that baby up for adoption, and really thinks the world of you for giving that young person a chance to have something better and bigger in their lives. And that's important. I realize that there are some who are going to say, well, Jamie, it's a woman's right to choose what she does with her body. Well, like I said, once that person gets pregnant from unprotected sex, then that person has basically made that choice. And the life that results should not be ended because it was a bad choice. And, let's see. I guess that's it. So I'll let you go. This is James Pittman reporting for the Texas Post at www.thetexaspost.me. Thank you to the Adult Literacy Council of the Concho Valley, JB Automotive, and ACE ATV and Motorcycle. Thank you. Good night.